All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Welcome to pre-market prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin joining us for a brief moment for a special segment is producer AB. Joel, we got a lot to get to. Let's recap the markets here, and then I want to let AB opine on why he's here. But Joel, recap today's action for us.
I'll recap it, and then we'll go on. You had a really good comment at the top of the prep for the pre-market prep at the close show. So we'll discuss that after a brief segment with Aaron. S&P's up 13 and a quarter, 13 and a half at 41.88. Folks, we are not going to be making a new all-time closing high today unless we rally 15 handles. Crude turned it around in the green, up 84 cents at 64.42. I'm cheering the gold market. That's up $24.30, knocking on the door of 1,800. Silver, not only is it over 26, but it's battling 27. That's up $1.12 at 26.99 and a half. And Bitcoin tried to get to 60,000, got turned back, up $540 at 57,855.
All right. Producer AB reached out to me and he asked if he can come on because he said he had a story to tell about the Derby. And I promise to all of you, all of our listeners, our viewers, we're not going to talk about the Derby forever. This will be the last time we talk about the Derby, maybe until the Preakness. But AB said he had a Derby story. So, AB, what is your Kentucky Derby story?
So, well, first of all, I don't condone any gambling, whatever. But I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I have my slips up here. So I do want to. Oh, here, let me just try to zoom in a little bit. I got to shout out Joel real quick because I did, took his advice. I included Rock Your World as part of my trifecta. Obviously, that one didn't hit. You can see lost $20 right there. But look right here. Win. Medina Spirit plus 1,200, $20 to win 240. So,
nice.
Look, and I had the Rock Your World right here to win even too. And so basically my, Joel, I like storylines. I like the storyline. And I was listening to, I was driving up through mid-Illinois, just middle of nowhere, going to visit my girlfriend up in Chicago area. And I was listening to the pre-race coverage, and they were talking about how Bruce Baffert back in the day in the 90s, his first horse that he won the Kentucky Derby with, I forget the first horse he won with, but he had bought for like 20 grand, which even back then in the 90s was considered very cheap to buy like a thoroughbred racehorse, 20 grand. And then this horse, Medina Spirit, was bought as a yearling for $1,000. $1,000. And so,
and then flipped for $35K. That was probably the best best start or worst return on $1,000 of investment. But yeah, they turned around and they flipped it for $35K. But yeah, what a bargain! Those horses go for the millions.
In the millions, and
yeah.
that's why I wonder what the purse is to win the Derby. What that would be like in investment terms. Like you spend $1,000, then you end up getting the purse from the Derby. What that that'd be like 1,000x or whatever. But I was listening to the interview with Randy Moss, not the NFL Randy Moss, but the horse racing Randy Moss. And he said basically that, or what I say Bill Baffert? It's Bob Baffert. Yeah, thank you.
That's
thank
okay.
You.
I wasn't
getting
Nolan.
Thank you.
You're young Aaron. We'll let you know.
Anyway, Randy Moss said it would be the equivalent, instead of like Tom Brady getting drafted in the 6th round and winning 6 Super Bowls, he said it'd be the equivalent of a quarterback undrafted getting cut by 4 different NFL teams, and he ends up on one, goes to the Super Bowl, whatever. And I was like, I love this storyline. I got to throw at least $20 on it. So that was it. That's really my story. It was just got lucky. It was fun.
It's fun. It's the greatest 2 minutes in sports. And, people talk about an overtime of the 7th game of a Stanley Cup as being as exciting. But for me, for as long as I've been watching those races and, both harnessed and thoroughbred, it's fun. And you know what the thing is, and I don't know if a lot of people got this in my article, but there was 50,000 people there. Man, we're doing sports. We're doing things. So everyone was a winner in the Derby. That's the way I look at it. Congratulations. I did. Bob Keel pointed out on Twitter that I did say the majority of the winners come first or second in the Derby preps. And as I mentioned this morning, my horse trounced that horse in Santa Anita, but it's all about the trip. And Triple D with that quote: "If you're not rubbing, you're not racing." I'm going to give him a raise. That was I have not heard that one myself, but good job, buddy. I'm glad to see that you cashed.
Thank you. Yeah, and the Derby has kind of a special place in my heart because my birthday is on the 5th, actually, coming up on Wednesday. So a lot of years it falls on my birthday, and so it's always a fun. Not a lot of years, but like
so you're going to be able to drink legally.
Yeah, that's Rachel. That's right.
That's congratulations. Well, all right. And then Spencer, I know he doesn't want to talk Derby talk anymore, but May 4th, which is tomorrow, has huge significance to me. And I think I've told you about this, right, Spencer?
Yeah, this is there's two reasons why tomorrow is big, right, for you?
I know one for sure. Fill me in on the other.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different day.
Okay. May 4th, 1984. I don't even know if your parents were born yet, Aaron, but May 4th, 1984. It was a Derby day. I believe it was a Derby day. What happened on that day?
1984.
Challenger.
What? No.
Okay.
Come on. That was. Let me think.
The greatest trade of my life.
So was that the day you met or married Lisa?
I did get married in 1984. I got married in 89. It's the day I met Lisa.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. And what was the other thing you were thinking of?
I was thinking of Dana's birthday is the same day at the S&P.
Future started. Oh, Spencer, I've trained you so well. Yeah, the first day that the schools traded Globacks. That's the first day they traded Glow. I got the button upstairs. You want me to go get it?
I'd rather not. No.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'll let y'all get to some market recap. But wait, Spencer, you got a birthday coming up too, don't you?
Oh.
Yeah.
When is it?
It's soon. I don't know.
Let's have a big old party.
It's coming up. I don't know when exactly. All right. Thanks a lot.
Maybe Jason will splurge and get like McDonald's for the office or something.
Yeah, right. That'd be nice.
All right. Take care, Ed.
Joel, here's my question for you. And chat, maybe you can help me out here because I'm trying to remember. I'm racking my brain for the last time that the S&P closed up while the NASDAQ closed down. And I don't mean like up or down like 0.2% or whatever, or 0.0. I mean like significantly up or down. I mean the S&P are up 1/3% today, and the NASDAQ is down almost 0.5%. And I'm just trying to remember the last time that happened because I don't remember. It's been a while. It's been a while. Is my point.
Yeah, and you made a good comment, and
Wait,
I don't like.
Can you just pull up your charts real fast?
Yeah, people are sick of looking at me. Yeah. First of all, people that go, how can you remember that? And I think they're referring to some of the stuff that I'm talking about. Yeah. My girls think I'm crazy because I can actually remember jersey numbers from Michigan football players in the 70s.
That's not at all crazy. That's not crazy.
That's not that at all. Jersey numbers?
That's not crazy. That's not.
Okay. All right. Here's the charts. This is what I want to say about the market today. And I don't want anyone saying, oh, Joel's calling the top. Joel's getting bearish. But this is not a very impressive day to me. And the reason is we're up 13.5 handles. We're actually lower than where we opened this morning. They tried to juice it, and they tried to get it to the all-time closing high, and that was 0350. But the only thing they could do was get it just past Friday's Globex high at 0150. So sellers may come down now off the 4,200. I don't like the way the big boys are acting. Microsoft down 70 cents. Amazon, wow, that's down $95. Holy mackerel. Google down 13.5, Facebook down, Tesla down. I don't know. I sell the news. I don't know. I'm feeling a little toppy here. That's all I'm going to say about the market, and we'll see what happens. But 4,200, at least to my calculations here, we got some major resistance up there.
All right, I want to talk about Novavax because it is getting smoked today, down like 18% last I checked.
Jesus,
And
Murphy.
they said that they're going to deliver vaccines to the EU by the end of the year. And I guess that was the headline: is by the end of this year.
Okay, well, I guess people were expecting it a little bit sooner, Spencer.
I guess so. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, these stocks, I mean, you're trading headlines. You know what you're doing. I just think if you were trading this headline and you took a shot at this on the long side, I hope you realized very quickly how wrong you were. Because you opened 30 or 28.50, you went to 39.45. Yeah, you were looking pretty good. But when you do those kind of plays and it comes back down through the open, you have absolutely no business. Oh, look at even the close was a good number. You have absolutely no business being long after it comes down to the open like that. It did look like 200 was a big number. So better hope this thing gets back above 200. That's my take on Novavax. NVAX. Spoos continue to fade here going into the final 18 minutes of the session.
Bill Big D says he likes Curaleaf. That's a U.S. cannabis stock, but the Canadian ones are getting creamed today. Actually, I just saw the CEO of Tilray on CNBC. We just interviewed him a few moments ago for one of our cannabis shows. The Tilray or Freedom merger went through on Friday, and all the Canadian cannabis stocks are down like at least 5% today, if not more.
Instead of the best in breed, it's the best in weed. I mean, that's not a bad looking chart. I mean, it's a more stable stock, got over 18, pulled back to 12. Now you're climbing your way halfway back. So I don't like a gap in there like that. I'd be more inclined to wait and try and pick it up at the top of Friday's range, but that's just my style.
Andrew Garver is, I think, asking, if you should buy the dip in Tilray. It's quite a dip. I mean, not today.
I don't know.
I'm referring to the 2021 activity.
Let's put it. Well, Andrew, what is the long-term trend in Tilray?
You know what? It depends on your definition of long, though, because I could say, oh, you go back 1 year, it's in an uptrend. So,
okay.
I don't know. You go back 3 months, not so good. You go back 15 months, a little better.
For a trade, you can put anything on for a trade.
Yeah.
You have your in, you have your out, you have your target. I think, man, I haven't checked this one pig. I bought two pot stocks. I made money on both of them. One was LBUI. I wonder if it's still around. Leaf buyers. That was supposed to be the Google of weed. You were supposed to be able, like, if you went to like Detroit, you could like go to Leaf Buyer Tech and find the best place to buy weed.
Yeah.
I don't know how I bought that at 1 and sold it at 2, but I did. And then the other one, thanks to Alan Brackstein.
Yeah.
I puked this thing out at the bottom. I don't know what I did. I did. I puked this out bad. I think I bought it at 7 and sold it at 3. And then actually I wanted to buy more and my buddy talked me out of it. He's like, it's a lot. You never add to you never add to losers. I'm like, yeah, but I want to add to this loser. And I did it. I sold it. Now it's back up, but whatever. I'm probably less than, I don't even know, 1/10 of 1% of my portfolio. So whatever. Move on. Next.
Move on. Let's talk about the home builders. Jeff Warren's talking about Beazer Homes, BZH, which is like the rest of the sector in blast off mode here. I mean, holy cow. Can they get any hotter? The entire sector. Can they get any hotter? Whether it's Beazer, whether it's Lennar, whether it's D.R. Horton, KB Homes, all of them.
What's he want to know? I mean, he bought it. He's in it. What's he asking me for? What do you want to know? Keep an eye on the old-time closing high. Did it have earnings or news today? Or
no, you know what? I didn't look. Let's look right now.
There's got to be news. News me.
There does not always have to be news. No, there was earnings on Thursday, so that could be follow through actions from that. But
do you want to see this had some follow through? I feel like I'm wealthy just because I haven't shorted this stock.
Oh, Twitter?
No, I haven't looked at Twitter yet today.
Oh, you should look at that. But what stock were you going to say?
I'm so glad. Look at that.
UPS. Oh, wow, yeah. It never stopped. Holy crap. It never stopped.
And it's funny. Oh, he guessed it. BZNB, BNZB. I'm just like why? Like when I'm thinking of shorting this at 200, why can't I just buy the 200 calls, instead? But whatever. I'll pick a top in this. Stay on me if you want a top. I'll pick it. I just can't pick it right now.
You should look at that Twitter chart.
Did Twitter do a reversal?
Reversal is a strong word.
Well, let's see. I was going to say this morning, but I didn't want to get anybody in trouble. I have seen this where it's gotten killed on earnings and it's bounced back the next day. That's not the case today, but it will settle in. I don't know. I mean, are you getting the old, no, you really didn't get above. Yes. If you were buying it above, the old, what do we call it? The old dip and rip. Who we used to have on that, the show Red Bull. He used to talk about the stock going down through
Red Dog.
Oh, Red Dog. What did I say?
Red Bull. No, I was actually Scott Redler was on Fox Business with Charlie G last week talking about Amazon.
He was on. What did he say?
We should get Scott back. It's been a while.
Was he bullish or bearish?
I don't know. I just saw.
Okay. But anyways, you didn't get that. Twitter, it'll give you a shot. It'll put a couple lows in the same area, give you something to lean on. Right now, 52.67, so it got a nice bump off the low. But that close, keep it close on that eyeing that close from Friday. Double nickel 22. That's and the high today was double nickel. So keep an eye on those two levels. If you want to buy it on strength, we'll have to see what happens with Twitter. Robert Crowley is watching Benzinga with his mother Agnes, so it's family time. I'm glad we are a family affair in the Crowley household, who I believe found us on Spotify.
What about Beyond Meat here? This is an interesting level. I find it precarious, dare I say. Precarious level for Beyond Meat. Because the reason why it's down is because Tyson Foods announced that they're going to have their own
competition PE, competition PE, competition PE. In fact, Lisa was on that kick a little bit, doing buying it, and really expensive.
It is not cheap.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Story's over, it looks like.
Well,
headed back to double digits. I haven't had an Impossible Burger. Have you?
Yeah,
you got that Burger King right around the corner from you. How often you go there?
Literally never. But
good for you. It's not good for you.
Impossible Burgers are good though. They are. I've had a couple. They're pretty good. So
okay.
I don't know. When's that IPO coming? I don't know that either. I don't know much. Okay. On the earnings front, here's the calendar schedule for today. Nothing real big. iRobot after the close. Chegg after the close. Nothing too big today. XPO. Oh, Avis budget tonight. So we'll want to watch that for sure.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Yeah, go ahead. What else you got?
That's it for tonight. Tomorrow morning, Under Armour, Pfizer, CVS, Camping World. Talk about high expectations there. So I don't know. There's your calendar for that.
We're down another leg down here in the S&Ps, folks. I don't know what Spencer's doing over there, but he's certainly not doing a good job with the market. I don't know. Should I have not talked bearish at the top of the show? What are you guys doing out there? Just because I said there's a potential double top in there, and not everyone in the chat goes and dumps their stocks.
Someone just read that you're supposed to sell in May and go away, and that's what.
They just read it, and you got that little pop today. I'll tell you right now, this Amazon move is not good, not good at all. Wow, down almost $100. Not good. Okay. Let's go. Oh, cars. I want to talk about cars. We rented from there on the way down to when we went to Florida.
Yeah.
And I was really unhappy with the customer service. And
no one is happy with the customer service.
Really?
I feel like everybody has a bad experience at renting a car.
It's so Lisa was like, I'm gonna I'm gonna go check these other lines, and she was gonna abandon the thing. I go, don't cancel this. She goes, why? I go, if we cancel this and then you get shut out at the other place. So she ran across the airport, went to Enterprise, and they're like, yeah, we got car. First she asked them, jump in the line if they had cars, and they said, yeah. And then when she got to the front of the line, they're like, oh no, you can't get a car. So it took a while. It was a nice car. We had an Equinox. It was expensive though. It was expensive.
I believe it.
Someone's getting out ahead of the report here. I mean, whether you like it or not, someone has a target of $90 and they're just unloading. They were unloading a little bit lower on Thursday and Friday. Today, they let it get up to 90.29. Then they sent their order to the floor. Sell $500,000 at 90 or better. And that's what knocked it off its keister.
Easy Mike is dropping a doozy here. Looking at Hertz, which is HTZGQ. And Easy Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Hertz? They're done with the bankruptcy filing, or aren't they?
It's a Hertz donut, man.
They're coming out of that, I believe, and so it's up 45% today. Oh my God!
I don't like to make comments about bankrupt stocks. Companies.
Well, they're not. That's my point. I think they're coming out of it.
I would not be short this thing with your money, Spencer.
Oh, hell no, definitely not. Because this could do. But let's back it up a year. Not even. Yeah, this thing went to $6. When was that? That was last June.
Yeah, I mean, Reddit's probably going to get a hold of this thing and boom. Yeah.
Oh, I totally believe that. That can happen for sure. So yeah, I mean, whether it's Hertz, whether it's Avis.
What's going on with Teladoc? Is that getting smoked again?
Yeah, there was a bearish note. Who was it? Was it Canaccord that had the bearish note on Teladoc?
Oh, kicking a dog when it's down.
I don't remember who it was. I had a bearish note this morning. On that. So okay. What else do we want to cover here? There's a few more things. What else did I want to hit? Wait, what was that stock? Estee Lauder, Joel. Estee Lauder.
Oh boy, Triple D. I just wish he would have forgot that he had that in his overnight portfolio. But that just got walloped. It was a mixed report. They missed. They beat EPS. Missed on revenue. Stock at all time high. When you're at all time high, folks, you got to hit it out of the park, and they didn't. And it makes sense. People are not wearing as much makeup, not going to work, but that could change. I mean, it's a one day sell off here. This arrow here is where Triple D got short. This was it was $12 above the high of the day on Friday, and it was $8 above its all-time closing high. So I don't think, I mean, it was a bull move, any way you stack it up. But boy, he got a lead on it. And that's the only reason he did it. We are coming down. We are going to take out the pre-market low. The pre-market low is 81.50. We're currently trading at 83.25. This is not a good day for the market.
Well,
not a bad day.
I mean, there are pockets of.
When's the last time I talked bearish about this market?
Like a month? I don't know. 3 weeks. I'm trying to. I don't know.
I'm just trying to give people a heads up, like we did in last January and February.
Oh my God! Don't
what?
Not even. It's apples and Snickers.
Oh, that's what they say.
That's
what they say.
Apples and Snickers.
Oh, that's what they say. Yeah, that's when the market was going up last January and February. Oh, who cares about COVID? Oh, no big deal.
Hey, what about
Triple D and I had your back.
What about Endeavor here, EDR, which was the IPO from Thursday? Having a really good couple of days. Had a very bad IPO day. Having a fantastic 2 days since the IPO day.
Spencer, what was that one that was just getting smoked?
That was like
from the IPO. It was like 70 to 15 or something. This was a couple weeks back. Now this is a great day. I don't know what the pricing was on this. It did. If you're trading this, Kenny Glick, Eric Kroll style, you took out this high. You had no business being short. But you know what stock I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
you're talking about EBET, I think.
Let's see how that's doing.
It went from 54 on the
Good
second
memory.
day. Well, I only know that because the COO will be on our show next Tuesday.
Oh, he's coming out. He came out of his cave, huh? What is it?
They were in it's EBET. He said they were in a quiet period.
Edward?
Edward Bravo, Edward Tango. EBET. Edward Bravo.
You sounded like you said V.
Oh, sorry, BBB.
All right, it's hanging in here. I mean, trying to find a bottom. You got a bottom. You got something to lean on. You got some overhead supply too, but let's see if we can get a pop. And how's Basecoin doing?
How's what?
Man, this thing can rally. What is going on with this thing? This is a sick puppy here. Watch it be up $100 tomorrow, but I don't know.
Oh, what?
You can't get out of the way. You can't even get. It's going to close under 300. What's the all-time closing low on this thing, folks?
Coinbase?
Yeah.
Today.
9160. 9160.
Yeah.
Whew. Man, oh man, not a love stock.
No. I didn't even see the report. I just saw it now from, I guess it's a couple hours old now, that Elliott bought a $200 million stake in Twitter today. Or not today, but that came out today. That Elliott is in Twitter. Interesting. They're activists and they tend to get what they want. So that's notable. Okay. 3:58 here. Got about a minute and a half left.
I just want to bring one quick thing up.
Yeah.
Boom. Rob just sent this to me. Kind of has crooked hand. Can you see it, or do I need to reshare the screen?
Yeah, I do see it.
Yeah, he was just talking about the first trade of the month for May, like seasonality, timeline by average percentage change. The first trading day of the month. And now we talk about this, and Dennis and I look at things like this, but we look at things from like an open to close basis, not so much of what, all the herky jerky action you get during the day. But there's where your returns. First day of the month there. First trading day of the month. Where we're averaging down 6. This is for May. Selling may go away. At first trading day of the month, open to close 0.60. Right now we're about 0.25. So not as bad as usual. But just wanted to show you guys things on a little bit supporting the selling may go away. For Joel Hatt, because he has such a great name, there's a Joel Hyatt. Nope, Joel Hatt.
Yeah, it's
Skittles.
And they have earnings tomorrow afternoon.
Really? Oh, gosh, I should have got Sean on today to see what he thinks. 1240, 2, 22, 21, 22, 9.4.5, 16, 17. Where's it at? This is if you want to buy it, folks. This is if you really think Skittles has turned it around, you got the rally off the low, you got the pullback, coincides with a couple other lows, but you got to lean on the low of the move. So that's my setup in Skittles.
There's our closing bell. Everyone, if you haven't done so already, take a split second out of your life and hit that like button, that thumbs up button on YouTube. We appreciate that very, very much. Please remember, all the information from all of our shows is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Joel is going to hop, and I'm going to stay on and bring on my man, Edwin Dorsey. We're going to talk about short sellers.
Short. I'm getting off the screen right now. Those evil short sellers.
So evil. Oh, and he's gone. He's actually gone. That's all right. Edwin's here with me. What's up, man?
Spencer, thanks so much for having me on. We got a lot to talk about. I'm doing well.
Great. Let's do it. Bring on your screen if you can. Edwin Dorsey is from the Bear Cave. He's got a newsletter. It's called The Bear Cave. You can find it in the description of this video. The link is in there to sign up. Edwin, what happened last week in short land?
Spencer, are you seeing my screen right now?
I am.
Okay. So there are two big announcements we're going to talk about too. One company I want to talk about is Triteris. They went public through a SPAC last year, roughly $600 million company. They do block trade they use the blockchain to like do trade finance, receivable financing. It's a little confusing.
Okay.
They've been attacked by a lot of short sellers. And last week they put out this 6K, this news release, and they basically said 2 of their board members are resigning. And both the board members are members of the audit committee. And it's like, that's never a good sign, Spencer, when 2 people are resigning from a company that recently went public, both from the audit committee, both effective immediately. So that caught my eye. But what's particularly interesting is usually board members resign without raising any problems at the company. It's a family reason, or they just need to spend more time doing something else, or they're old. If you read the exhibits from the 6K, the resignation letter of one of the people, it's actually not a polite resignation letter. He's saying, I resign my position as a director of the company, member of the audit committee, effective immediately, following a discussion at the board of directors meeting. And this is what he said, this director who resigned from Triteris. It is clear the chairman and the company's interim general counsel office have very different views as to my own as to the optimal path forward for the company at this extremely challenging time. I believe the company's board must be united in responding to the company's resignation of their auditors and allegations made in a short report from January 14th, 2021. Because Spencer, in January, Phase 2 Partners, this kind of new short seller, published a short report on Triteris saying they were a fraud and fraudulently inflating the amount of transactions they're doing and in effect their revenue. And this is the first time, at least I've ever seen, a board member mention a short report in their own resignation letter. So that was interesting. I've previously written about Triteris before, and Triteris is interesting because the management of Triteris seems extremely weak. The CEO is this guy, Srinivas Konaru. And if you look at Glassdoor reviews for his last company, people were saying, you know, it's a glorified Ponzi scheme. There's bait and switch tactics. There's smoke and mirrors. One person wrote, I highly avoid working for this company. It may well be a glorified Ponzi scheme. What?
That's good. That's good.
There's no substance behind the marketing pitch. Everything else about this company was smoke and mirrors. These resignations on their own would seem pretty bad, but with the context of the management previously being accused of fraud, a lot of companies associated with the management have gone to zero. That's bad. The other company I want to talk about right now is Ehang. My guess is a lot of your viewers have heard of Ehang, went public through a SPAC, flying electric cars in China or something like that. Wolfpack Research put out a report on Ehang saying it's a stock promotion destined to crash and burn. What caught my eye with Ehang, and a bunch of people picked up on this, is you go to Edgar, you go to Ehang's most recent holdings, and they filed a notification that they're unable to file their annual report in time for the deadline. They say
never a good thing to hear.
Never a good. They had experienced a delay in their annual report for December 2020 and the audited financial statements. And it's like, that's not good, especially on the heels of fraud allegations and someone calling you a stock promoter in your first year as a public company. So you see audited financial statements are part of the delay, which will naturally raise the question, who is Ehang's auditor and who's responsible? Now, this is where you can get a little savvy and probably beat the big hedge funds that don't do great work. You go to the PCAOB website, okay? You go to the search bar, you do auditor search, and you put in the ticker EH for Ehang Holdings. You click Ehang, and right away, it'll show you who the auditor is. It's Ernst & Young Hao Ming. Ernst & Young is a big four auditor. They have some credibility. But the cool thing about the PCAOB website, Spencer, is you can also see the specific engagement partner who's responsible for the audit of Ehang, and that's Li Yang. And if you click on her, you can see her past audits. What other companies in the last 4 years has she audited other than Ehang? Do these ring any bells, Spencer?
I'm looking here. Let me make it bigger so I can see. Hey, I know that guy. I know those guys. Oh, no.
So the same person who's responsible for Ehang also was the auditor for Luckin Coffee. And for anyone who doesn't know, Luckin Coffee stock collapsed after fraud allegations that the company was fraudulently inflating sales.
Oh man.
So if you do a little bit of digging, it's even worse because not only is Ehang facing fraud allegations from Wolfpack, having their financials be delayed, their audit partner has previously done frauds. And then it's not just Luckin Coffee. What's her other company she did?
I want to be clear. She's not doing fraud. She's just the auditor for a fraudulent company.
Exactly. My bad. She's not doing frauds.
Yeah.
It's just the two companies she's audited other than Ehang have both collapsed. China Cache International also fell like 90% or something like that, and was later delisted. So this is like one kind of cool tool, the PCAOB search tool that lets people see problems with auditors. And Spencer, if it's okay, I want to show your users something else I've been working on that's a little unrelated.
Yeah, well, wait, before you do that though, can you explain what the search tool is?
Okay.
Because we've mentioned it before, but I want to make sure you actually explain what it is.
Let's do it. Every company has an auditor that needs to sign off on their financial statements every year. To determine who the auditor is, you can go to the company's filings, and on like page 80, they'll probably list who their auditor is. The easiest way to find what auditor a company uses is to go to the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board website. It's like I believe like a quasi-governmental agency, but it's technically a nonprofit, but it works with the SEC. To find it, you just go Google PCAOB, come up right there. And then you can search for any company. Like if you want to know who Apple's auditor is, you search for Apple, and it'll show you it's Ernst & Young. There's 4 big audit firms that are considered really credible: Ernst & Young, Deloitte, KPMG, and what's the fourth? Ernst & Young, Deloitte, KPMG. There's one more, Spencer. Do you know which one? I'm blanking on it. But there's 4 credible ones, and then there's smaller ones. Usually big companies will have big auditors. But what's kind of cool about the PCAOB website is you can see
Price Waterhouse.
Price Waterhouse Cooper. Thank you. You can see the PCAOB shows you the specific person responsible for the audit who's leading the audit. So for a company like Apple, I'm guessing the guy who does Apple's audit has also done Oracle's audit in the past. So the person doing Apple is probably pretty qualified because he's worked on big companies in the past. Right. I have a theory, especially when it comes to Chinese companies. Oftentimes, they'll get an auditor, and so for some reason or another, 1 or 2 people at all these big firms always are auditing these companies that collapse and go to zero. And I think it's more than coincidental. So if you see a person who has audited companies that collapse, especially collapse amid fraud allegations in the past, if they're auditing your company, then I would be extra skeptical. And for whatever reason, like a lot of hedge funds don't use this tool, individuals don't use this tool, but it's a super helpful tool. It's completely free. It's easy. All you do is go to the PCAOB website, you go to the search, you click auditor search instead of site search, and you can enter in a ticker to see who the company's auditor is, and then you can you see who the specific partner is. For huge companies, it usually doesn't matter. For small companies, and especially Chinese companies, it can matter a lot.
I love that. I love that stuff. Guys, think about what Edwin just shared with us. Free research tool to dig deep on a company. It's free. The information's out there. You just got to know where to look for it. Edwin is showing us exactly where to find it, where people like him, and this is where short sellers go when they're doing their DD. This is where they go. Places like this.
Absolutely, Spencer. And if it's okay, I want to announce something a little cool on your show that I announced earlier today. I've actually launched a new website, Spencer, called bullpencareers.com. It's a job board for hedge funds and investment banks to post jobs, and it's also free for anybody to apply for jobs. So if anybody's looking for a job or looking to post a job, this is a new job board I created where people can post jobs for free and apply to jobs for free. And there's jobs from Bridgewater, Point 72, Citadel, Citron, Caspian Capital.
Nice. Very nice. The link is up on the screen. Bullpen Careers. Ooh, I had no idea you had so many side hustles, man. I never know with you what you're working on.
So that's the new thing. But the two stocks to watch if you're watching the short world is Triparis, which I think is going to, I'm very skeptical of them. And then EHang, which also, I think is being, the market's starting to get skeptical too.
Well, it's down 16% today. So I would presume that your presumption is correct on that. Guys, Edwin Dorsey, in addition to apparently creating his own job board, I had no idea until a few moments ago, he runs his own newsletter. You guys should check it out if you haven't already. It's a really, really great read. Really easy read, too. The link is up on the screen. It's thebearcave.substack.com. Just Google The Bear Cave. You'll find it. It's also in the description of the video on YouTube. Just click on that, and that'll bring you straight to his site. And I think that's it. Was there anything else I missed? Oh, follow him on Twitter at StockJabber. And that's also in the link. What else do we have here?
One thing I noticed you talked about in the last segment is you were talking about Elliot going long Twitter. I'm personally very bullish on Twitter. Again, not investment advice, but I think they're rolling out a lot of cool tools that the market's kind of missing. Today they announced, in addition to having spaces, you're going to be able to charge to participate in audio spaces. I think their newsletter tool could be very lucrative. So Twitter is probably going to be my biggest position soon, Spencer. So if anyone wants to talk Twitter, I'm researching.
I don't know if I'm bullish Twitter, but I'm bullish Elliot. Put it that way. Like those guys get results. They don't get into a stock unless they know that they're going to get something done and they're going to get what they want, whether it's board seats or whatever. They've been going back and forth with Twitter for a while, it seems like. I thought they were out. I guess maybe if they were out, now they're back in, or because we just went through this whole thing with Twitter and Elliot a couple of years ago. But those guys get results. So I don't know if I'm bullish Twitter so much as I am bullish Elliot.
Fair enough, Spencer. Fair enough.
All right, guys. Edwin Dorsey getting some love in the chat. Guys, if you love Edwin in the chat, show him some love via hitting the like button so we can tell him how many people like Edwin, and then he'll come back. Edwin, thanks a lot, man. We will see you next Monday, same time, same place. Keep an eye for us on what's going on in the seedy underbelly of the markets, and save it for us for next Monday.
Sounds great, Spencer. Thanks so much.
All right. There's his handle up on Twitter at StockJabber. All right, guys. That'll be a wrap for the At the Close show today. We've got our next show is, I think Ryan Rosbiani should be on, producer AB. Let me know. If Ryan Rosbiani is on a 5, he should be on a 5. We've got Money Mitch at 6, Making Bread with Cheds at 7, and the Rail Report after that. So if you haven't already, hit that like button. If you want a free 2-week trial of Benzinga Pro, go to pro.benzinga.com. Even more, if you want more than a trial, you want a discount, enter the code that's on the bottom of the screen right now, YouTube20, lowercase, YOUTUBE, number is 20, to get 20% off any Benzinga Pro subscription. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, whether it's Benzinga or Benzinga Clips. You'll get notified as soon as we go live, and you'll be in the Cool Kids Club, which is what we all want, I think, in life. Okay, that's going to be a wrap for me here. I said hit like. I said do Benzinga Pro. I said subscribe. Any other programming notes, announcements that I'm missing? Oh, Mark W. just signed up for Edwin's website. Very nice. Vintage. Yes, Edwin is like our most cheerful guest. That's for sure. And I got to be honest, people, guys, I don't like cheeriness. I'm a bit of a grouch, but I like Edwin's cheeriness. You know, makes me cheery, which is unusual because usually when I say cheery, I just want to counterbalance it with like, you know, being a grouch. But Edwin is a cheeriest dude, and I love him for it. So all right, smash the like. I'm gonna hop off. Happy birthday, Dad, and I'll see you guys later on in the stream.